Hello! Welcome back to Step 5 of the Fulbright Roadmap, a comprehensive 7-step guide to planning, writing, revising, and submitting your best Fulbright application. My name is Leah Rogstad, and I am a former Fulbright grantee. I was in Spain from 2021 through 2022 doing a Fulbright study grant, and today we're going to talk about Step 5 of the 7-step process, which is writing. This occurs after you've completed steps 1 through 4, which is selecting the country and grant that is most aligned to you, creating an application plan with clear deadlines, researching your host country and your grant, and then finally self-reflection about your story, your identity, your goals to ensure that we can bring all of those together and finally get to this writing process with tons of fodder to write a really compelling statement. So what are you going to do during the writing process? Well, number one, I want to remind you that writing is not linear. It's going to be kind of this circular writing and revision process. So don't feel like you have to sit down at your desk and write your personal statement one and off and you're done. It's going to be a cyclical process with multiple steps. And in the guide, we talk about this. But going back to what should you be focusing on the writing stage. So you're going to take all of the research you did about your host country and the grant, and then also those self-reflection questions, and you are going to highlight key themes, anecdotes, characteristics about yourself that are going to align with that Fulbright mission and answer the statement of grant purpose questions and personal statement questions completely and clearly. I also like to Google search past Fulbright essays just to see the structure of the essay. So this might be a time when you look at how someone started their essay. Did they start with a hook of an anecdote, a statistic, some kind of contrast? Those are all great ways to think about how you may start your grant purpose statement off with something that is compelling, but really get to the meat of it, which is look for keywords, key themes, and you're going to connect all of those. And then you're going to write your first drafts of personal statement and statement of grant purpose. You can find all of the questions that you must answer on the Fulbright website. And there are a lot of questions, which is why in the guide, I have created a very clear checklist of each of the questions that you must answer, as well as kind of the do's and don'ts. So let's look at just a couple examples. So for example, don't make sweeping generalizations or absolute statements about what everyone does or believes, but we'll go through and ensure that you're talking about language use or that you have demonstrated that you have host country competence. So again, all of this can be found on the Fulbright writing page, but if you would like it in a more concrete way, of course, that is down below in the link in the bio. But like I mentioned before, this really is going to be a cyclical process. So don't get stuck. Put your Google Doc out and just write down all of your ideas related to those questions using that fodder you generated during the self-reflection and research process. So you're in this writing process, and then we will go into revisions in the next video. And like I said, this is a constant process that will happen over a month. So I would say the biggest thing that I can tell you about writing is probably what you already know, which is do not wait until the week before the application is due to do your first writing, because you need time and space to step away from your writing and then come back. And when you read your writing out loud after you have written it 3 days later, or 3 days ago, you will be able to tell what sounds good, what sounds bad, and also you'll be able to look at it with less emotional attachment and say, oh, this aligns with the Fulbright mission. This aligns with the great statement of grant purpose, and this part doesn't. So make sure you're giving yourself about a month to do that writing. And so, like I said, in the actual guide, there are guided writing prompts, 5 different reflection pieces for your self-reflection. And then we'll also go through this revision process in the next video to talk about what you should be doing to ensure that you are covering all of your bases. And I also have a free checklist below of the main steps of the Fulbright process, if that interests you, as well as the Fulbright Roadmap guide if you want that comprehensive kind of guide to writing your best application. All right, I will see you in the next video.